and welcome to a brand new episode of Help Me, I'm Scared. I'm your host, Riley. Okay, I know you probably don't recognize me today. Okay, if you're watching this on YouTube, which if you're not, go check it out on YouTube. Okay, I got my hair dyed. Okay, I believe this is a money piece style. I believe that's the name of it. Um, yeah, I haven't wanted to do my hair like this for like a really long time. And I was just so grateful and thankful that my own cousin who knows how to do hair um offered to do it for me, so I really owe her for that because that was just such a really nice like thing that she did for me, and I just I love it. It's honestly it's boosted up my confidence, and here's how I can prove to you that I have a lot more confidence now. Okay, for starters, this hairstyle genuinely makes me feel like way more feminine. Okay, and I don't really like, how do I say it, like I haven't really been feeling the greatest like in the past like few months, like with my own like personal natural look. Yes, my black hair is, it's beautiful and all that, but like I've just been wanting to make so many changes to myself and to my body, because like I just want to feel more comfortable in my own skin, being that I am a transgender girl. So, for me it's a lot it's a lot more effort than it seems. Okay, but the reason why I said that you can hopefully tell that I have so much confidence in the way I look is because if you are watching this on YouTube, which again, if you're not, I'd recommend you go check it out. Okay, youtube.com/Riley'sPinkRose. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm wearing lip gloss, so if my lips look a little bit like red, pinky, it is a. I don't have it with me. It's in my bag. It is a. What's the brand? CoverGirl. I forgot what the name on the lip gloss is, but it's one of their winter ones. So it's like a red, like glittery almost. I know you can't tell because you guys are far away, but it's like red glittery, and it's very minty. So like my lips right now, like before I turn the camera on, like I did put some on, and like my lips feel very fresh, very minty indeed. Which I will say, mint, I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay, yes, it's good in some things because it makes, it's fresh, it's very refreshing, uh feeling. It feels very cool, so like, in certain ways it's cool. However, whoever decided to make minty pads was on another one. Okay, was on a good one, because I don't know whose idea that was, but let me know, do any of you out there use minty pads, and do you like them? I guess is what I'm curious to know. But yeah, I'm not wearing any makeup today because I just, I haven't really been feeling like, I know I love wearing makeup and I need it for, for me to be able to beat my gender dysphoria, but me having this hair has kind of helped me in the sense that like I don't know if I necessarily need it anymore, because now I'm liking the way I look. I like what I see now. Okay, and if some of you out there don't necessarily like the way I look, then that is your opinion. Okay, that is your opinion. And yeah, that is what I will say about the hair. And as far as makeup, because this is the first episode I've done where I haven't worn any makeup so far. So I don't know if I'm gonna do this every time from now on. Okay, maybe other episodes I'm gonna feel like, what, I feel like doing makeup today, but didn't happen today. Plus this morning I did have to wake up early because I had to go with my sister somewhere, so I didn't have a lot of time. Okay, so I didn't even shower this morning, so little TMI. But yes, that is that. If you guys hear noises, which I kind of hope you guys don't, because there's a lot going on. Okay, out there, over here, there's noises going on all over this house. Okay, we do have family visiting at the moment. So yeah, and you're probably wondering, girly, go spend time with your family. Why are you in your room by yourself talking to a microphone, to a camera, filming right now? Like, you should be with your family. And to that I say, this family is the type of family I don't give a shit about. So, you know, I'm talking like the toxic relatives have come to visit. And I'm not trying to be a part of that, okay? I would much rather be in my room rotting. Okay, it's pretty warm in here, so I like the feeling I'm feeling right now. Okay, I'm not even with my blanket on right now because, your girl's in some short shorts. Okay, this tank top, is that what these are called? I don't even know. I feel pretty hot today, honestly. Like, not sweaty, but like, I mean, hopefully it doesn't get any hotter in here. But I feel good. Like, like my looks, my hair. If I would have done makeup, maybe I would have looked extra hotter. But like, I genuinely, like, I feel hot. Like I'm telling you, like, I'm feeling it. Also, yes, I got my nails done. Okay, these are Hello Kitty nails. Okay. Again, if you're not watching this on YouTube, then I recommend, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. But anyways, yeah. I don't want to be around this family, so I'd rather just be in my room doing my podcast, reading my books, which, by the way, I was going to talk about this because I wanted this to be the topic of the episode. I just finished literally right before filming this. I was reading, and then I took a little nap, meditated a little bit, and then decided I was going to film this podcast. But what I was reading was, I was actually finishing up the book Stitches by Violet Taylor. This book, I will say, it just touched my heart in so many ways. Okay, if you guys don't know what this book is, okay, if you're not on that side of TikTok, I was trying to figure out what to say. This is a monster romance book. This is basically like a retelling, like smutty version of Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. And when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm in. You convinced me. I need to get this book. And I got this for Christmas along with my other monster romance books. I know a while back I was talking about, I don't remember if it was on the podcast or if it was like on regular video, but I was talking about A Web of Lust and Sorrow, which is also Violet Taylor, and another one of her books, also Demons and Damianas, which was my favorite one. This will probably be second place, only because Demons and Damiana, like that is by far like up there with Lights Out. Like, it is one of the best books I have ever fucking read, and I can't recommend it enough. But the problem is, not everyone gets me. Okay, that's my problem. No one really understands what it's like to be a monster girly. Okay, like, oh my god, like, you ever just hate that? Do you guys genuinely, like, think about it? Like, you ever just hate when, like, you love something so freaking much, and it's like you really want to recommend it to someone, but like, for a fact they're not gonna look into it. Okay, which I know I'm that way too. So there's times where people recommend me something and I don't do it, so I don't blame you guys, but I know how you probably feel. Okay, but read Demons and Damiana though, if you guys are interested. Read it. Okay, it's very smutty, spicy, it's short. Like, look how big this one is. This is how big Demons and Damiana is, pretty much. Like, it's a short book, but the romance is so beautiful. I just love it so much. Okay, and this one too, I recommend it. Okay, this is probably like my second favorite out of the ones that I've read from her. I have not gotten through any of her other stories. This is like the third one I've read from Violet Taylor, and if I had to rank them so far already, like I said, it's Demons Damiana, Stitches, and Web of Lust and Sorrow. I'm debating if I want to read Ours for Halloween next. Like, a big part of me wants to wait for Halloween, which would have been great to have known before I read this one, because this is also like Halloween kind of themed. Um, but I just think I just think like I want to finish her books because I'm hooked on her books. That's the thing. I'm really hooked on her books. And I also have Deeply Depraved Monsters, which is like a big version that has like all of these ones. It has other bonus books that she hasn't released like physically like this. Like they're all just like in there. So it's like a collection of books, you know? And I want to read that one. Skip the ones I already read, obviously, but I want to read like the small individual ones first, and then I can get to that one so I can read all the ones that she hasn't published like individually. Um, so I don't know. Like I really want to, I really want to like get through my books and all that because I haven't been buying a lot of books anymore, which is a good thing because girl, your girl was having a book hoarding problem for a little bit. Okay, I was literally buying books. I was easily buying like 2 books a week. But the point is I get through them, you know? But I will say lately I haven't been feeling my greatest. I've been kind of going through it. I've been mentally struggling, I've been financially struggling. I've been I will be honest, like I've been feeling quite lonely, like here and there sometimes, and that's kind of why, like, I kind of just struggle to focus on certain things. You know, like it sounds dumb, but like reading really does help me. Like it really makes me feel better. Like it really cleanses the mind, and it really just like distracts me from the real world. The problem is if I'm going through something, I can't focus. I can't focus on my books. It's the same thing with my YouTube channel, guys. Like I've told you guys before, if you guys haven't heard me say, I've mentioned it multiple times, and a lot of people actually really appreciate that I say these things because I don't think it's something that a lot of YouTubers, whether you're a big or small YouTuber, really like consider or like realize is if I'm going through something, if there's something going on in my life, in my personal life, family issues, and I just can't focus, I'm not gonna film anything. And the reason is because I don't want to put on a character that looks happy, but behind the scenes, behind the smile, she's struggling, you know? She's crying, she's screaming. I can't do that. I can be an actress to a certain extent, but I choose not to, okay? I just choose not to, okay? This is why my dream is to become a director and not an actress. Because I just... Crap, that scared the crap out of me. My wallet just fell. I don't even know if you guys saw that. I didn't even notice. Oh my god, it freaking scared me. What was I saying? Yeah, I can put on a character for only so long. Like but I choose not to. Okay, I want to be my real self online, on the internet, like in person. I don't like pretending that I'm okay when I'm not, which is why I don't have a filming schedule or like even like a schedule for like when I release this podcast, because technically speaking at the start I was doing really good. This episode I know for a fact is a little late, and I apologize for that, because I know usually like I typically tend to post my episodes like as at the beginning of the weekend. It is Sunday. It's Sunday as of filming this right now, so I know I'm late. I know that I've just been struggling, and I just haven't mentally been here, okay? And if I can't be mentally here, there's no way I can be mentally here on the internet. So, you know, and so yeah, I've been falling behind on a lot of things. Okay, like I said, I'm late to this episode. I would have had this up already, but I haven't. I'm late to I've been falling behind to my books. So it's like I plan out dates with my books and then I don't even show up sometimes, so I just leave my books stranded and they're just neatly placed on a shelf that I'm currently looking at. That's why I keep looking over here. And I just, that's kind of why I'm glad I'm not buying books anymore, because it's like, one, I don't even have the money for it anymore, and two, I personally I just don't want to become a hoarder, realistically. And I think I've been improving on that because I've really been working on it. Because, like, for starters, I had a couple more shelves around my room that I have officially gotten rid of. Like, I had one here to the left of me that I had my TV on. I had my little, like, there's this one, actually, this one right here. If you're watching on YouTube, it's this like the 6 cubes, cubby spaces. All of these, like the cubbies at the 4, have like clothing and stuff like that, and then the top ones I kind of just use as like shelves and storage as well. I had this one over here on my left, and I had my TV at the top, and the space to walk was kind of a little tight. I think I showed it in like my last vlog when I was like moving my bed and stuff. I kind of didn't want it bothering me. I kind of wanted to have a little bit more space open. So what I did is, I didn't get rid of that one because it's right over here. What I did get rid of, in case you didn't notice, was my nightstand, because I had my nightstand over here and I was like, do I need this fucking nightstand? I don't think I do. So I took that bitch out and put her there. My TV is up there on top of my bookshelf, so my TV's still here, so she didn't go anywhere. I had another like wooden shelf that I had like a couple books on. I had it in the corner next to my bookshelf, but I didn't like it because it didn't fit. So I had moved it over here. But then the problem is, over here, it was even tighter of a space for me to be able to walk through, like to get on this side of the bed. So I was like, you know what? And I even bumped into it at one point. That's how tight it was. Like, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I need to open up some space. I need to really, like, grow my personal space. Because the way I was going, the way my mind was kind of going, I was closing myself more in, and I needed to just open space up. I was like, I need my space, and I myself am not giving it to myself. So I took shit out, moved things around, and yeah, I've kind of just been changing things up a bit. But again, going back to the books, I think that's why, like, I just needed to stop, because I was like, I'm not even focusing on reading right now. There's no reason for me to be buying more books, because I should, at least in the meantime, until I can go back to buying books again, I need to finish these that I have right now, before I start growing a TBR that I'm not even working on, So me personally, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to start focusing on some of my books again. And there was a while where I was reading 3 books at the same time, all thriller, by the way. And I couldn't do it. I can't focus on multiple books at once. Like, if I start a book, I need to focus on just this one. I can't be bouncing around to different, stories, different characters. It's too much for me to focus on, and I don't like it. So I just decided, I'm going to take them one at a time. I read my book for my book club. I finished The Housemaid, which my best friend and I were supposed to read, but she finished it before me. And then I also read this book. What was it called? I think it's called, like, You Shouldn't Have Come. That's a good book too, by the way. I recommend all of you guys go check that out if you like thriller. So, I finally got those done. I was like, you know what? I'm done. These done. Like, I can finally go back to my it's funny because, like, I was like, I'm reading all 3 thriller books, and it's taking me a while to get through all 3 of them, okay, individually. But what I needed in my life was my smut. I needed smut in my life. Okay, I was smutless for a while, and your girl was just not okay about that. Okay, I can't go too long without reading smut at this point. Like, I can't. Like, I need it. Okay. Uh, so after reading all three of those books that I read, finished them. First thing I did was I picked up Stitches. Okay, and Stitches, like I said, really touched my heart. This book really made me open up my eyes a lot more to the monster, like, subcategory, subgenre, whatever you want to call it. As far as like with romance and stuff like that. Um, his name is Kel, by the way. And he's just so attractive. Like, he's basically the Skeleton King, which is a reimagining of Jack Skellington. And he's just like, he's so beautiful to me. Like, I genuinely think that reading a book that has to do with a monster boyfriend compared to a human boyfriend really just means a lot more to me. And the reason why I say this, right, is because from my experience, right, not personal, I'm talking about like books, right, my reading experience. Oh my god, I don't want people to think that I like was in a relationship with an actual monster or something. But like, my experience, right, from reading romance specifically, I've read a couple books. I haven't been reading too many books, but I read a lot of romance. Okay, cutesy romance, the cutesy spicy romance, dark romance, and monster romance, right? I don't know any other categories of romance, but if you know any that I haven't touched upon that are not any of these, let me know. Romance books, like, the cutesy stuff, like the innocent kind of romance books, like the ones that don't really have to do with like spice. It's just like drama romance, the cutesy spicy romance, as far as like, like sports romance, things like the what is that one I have, the pumpkin spice cafe, like icebreakers, that type of category. Dark romance, so like Lights Out, Haunting Adeline, those categories. Obviously the male lead is a human, right? And then monster romance, yes, there's monster romance books that the woman is the monster, but the ones I've mostly read, well, except for Web of Lust and Sorrow, it's all men, right? And my experience from reading romance books that have to do with humans, sometimes the men can be just as questionable as they can be in both movies and TV shows and in real life. And what I mean by that is, all these cutesy books, right? You can't tell me that there's no drama, right? Like, these books have drama in them. It has guys, like, sometimes the guy ruins the relationship because maybe he's like fallen in and out of this like feeling that he has for the girl. Maybe he's cheated, you know what I mean? Like, maybe he, abuses her, maybe he's violent, like verbally abusive. I don't know, those are all things that happen in the real world, right? As far as dark romance, I mean, listen, I don't know any real life woman or men, who has a actual like kidnapper kink, stalker kink, abuse kink. I don't know actual human beings that have those real life kinks. So dark romance to me, it's kind of like, it's a little bit different. It's kind of same as like monster romance, where it's like, I don't consider this like a real life relationship, because this is very much more fiction, right? Because, like I said, I don't know any human being who has a kink for being stalked or being abused or being what is the word? What's the other word I said? I said abuse, stalked. Kidnapped, that's what I was thinking. Kidnapped. I don't know any humans who have those actual kinks, right? Because I don't know if those really are kinks, or genuinely enjoy that. So you know, when I read books like, Icebreakers, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, things like that, I can kind of see how, like, someone out there can kind of relate to this, as far as, like, feeling horny, or like maybe you've been through a relationship like this. Like, maybe you and your relationship, like, you have a lot of drama going on and you're afraid to admit it, and this book kind of feels like it's calling you out. Me, with my monster books, though, I see them differently. And the reason why is because obviously I know, like, it's not real. Like, I know that no one out there is having relationships with monsters, because, for the most part, you know I don't want to say monsters don't exist, because there's certain cryptids that I believe in, but no woman like me, or no woman in general, is just going around like smashing skinwalkers, or like or like duendes or something like that. Like, that's not happening as far as I'm concerned. I'd love to meet that person though, but it's very much like not real. It's very much just make believe, just a little fantasy. And truthfully, I find myself finding these men in these types of books, like like monster books, way more attractive than the men in other romance books. And the reason why is because, at least for the books I've read, right? The ones I've read, and mind you, hasn't been that many. It hasn't been that many, but like, I can definitely confirm that a book like Stitches, a book like Demons in Damiano, where the monster is the male. Spice aside, because obviously those books are very spicy, you learn about who they are as a character, and the women in these books genuinely take an interest in getting to know, who is this monster, like, what is your backstory? Are you, like, there's no way you're just a monster and, like, that's it, right? Monsters are evil, that's it. That, like, they, I congratulate Violet Taylor for this, because she gives them really, like, deep background stories where, like, these men are, like, broken inside in ways that even they in the books have said they're afraid to talk about these things, right? And the reason why I find this so appealing is because I myself can be that way too. Like, I'm broken in a lot of ways, and I don't like to talk about it, right? Like, I'm not that open with my family to talk about certain problems that I have, and sometimes I don't want to talk about certain things to my best friend. So what I do is I read these books, and I hear about these monsters who are broken, they feel unloved, they do bad things because they're unloved, and I just think to myself, like, this person is my soulmate right here. Like, I'm not saying I want someone in my life to be doing bad things, but, like, I myself, like, because of the fact that I'm broken and I'm afraid to talk about it, these monster men are broken and they're afraid to talk about it, but they finally found, like, a woman who shows them love. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys, okay? Let's talk about let's put the book talk a little bit to the side, okay? If I met a man, right? I met a guy, right? And let's say I was catching feelings for him. Let's say he was catching feelings for me, right? In the real world, people are attractive in the eyes of others, right? And many other people, right? And there's a possibility that, maybe that woman over there, maybe she's eyeballing my mans. Maybe these girls over here, maybe they know my mans, you know? There's, I see it as like comparing monster men and human men. I see it as like there's a higher chance of someone coming after my real mans and trying to steal them from me and his dumbass leaving me for one of these other girls. But when it's men and when it's monster men in these books, right? They only have one love, and it's the women that they fall in love with. And I kind of like see myself like wanting to live a fantasy world like we all do, you know. Like I know there's people out there who wish they can live in like fantasy books, you know. There's people out there who wish they could live in like, you know, a simulation type of world, like video game worlds and stuff like that. I want to live in a world where I have a higher chance of dating a monster than dating a real life human being. And the reason why is because I fall in love with the fact that like these types of books, a woman who's human being meets this monster who she's afraid of, right? Starts off being afraid of, because you don't just run into monsters casually, right? And then he has feelings for her, she has feelings for him. They do some nasty stuff, but then it's like they open up to each other, you know. Usually in monster books, from the few that I have read, and I hope, you know, others can be that way too. The male monster is more broken than the woman, and the woman really heals him, you know. Like in this book, I don't want to spoil this book, but in this book, Stitches, it talks about how he lives in this like skeleton manor, which, hearing that alone, you know, and him being the skeleton king, you would think like this big ass mansion, like he's got like this big old house all to himself, and he doesn't even sleep in it. He doesn't really live in it. He just has it. And the reason why is because he's lonely and doesn't have anyone to bring any life to this manor. So to him, this manor's useless because he's by himself. He's alone. He feels lonely. He doesn't feel loved the way she loves him. And he sees no point in all this, you know? It's kind of like, what is the meaning of all of this if there's no one I'm ever going to share this with, you know? There's nobody that is going to love me enough to bring life into this house, bring life into this manor, and like live happily and just, you know, not give a single fuck about anyone or anything, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like living with your soulmate, you know? And I find myself like feeling more attractive attracted, I should say, to these men when I'm reading these types of book compared to when I'm reading books like Haunting Adeline, Icebreakers, you know? Because I genuinely think, and a lot of people I feel like wouldn't understand, because I know there's a lot of people out there who don't understand what it's like to be into monster romance, but like I genuinely think monster romance is genuinely like a beautiful like genre. And I think so mostly because it's like, I guess because like in certain ways, certain things, certain topics, like I find myself relating a lot, and I would want someone to come into my life, you know, like whether it be a man or a woman, you know, who would love me enough to, you know, take me away from my problems, take me away from all of this, and just, you know, live happily ever after, you know. But I sometimes struggle with finding someone like that. And some of the times I blame my gender, my identity, because of the fact that I'm trans. And I don't I don't feel like that'll happen for someone like me. I know people out there are gonna say, like it will and it will. Um, but I personally don't feel like it will, because every time I try with someone, like no one genuinely like wants to even like remotely slightly give me a chance. Even in the smallest like thing, like even getting to know me sometimes, that is something I've struggled with like for years now. That is why I have been single my whole life. I've never, I've never felt like what it feels like to know that someone has a crush on you. I've never felt what it feels like for me to like go out and like, spend time with someone who I genuinely really like and I know likes me back, you know. Um, I've never I've never really felt like I was attractive, in the sense that like someone would want to, look at me a certain way and like think like I want to get to know this girl. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because all of these men in these monster books, yes, they're monsters, but like, they're monsters with feelings technically. I relate a lot with them, and I I would love for me to find someone in my life that I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to find someone in my life who is kind of equal to me, Like, it sounds mean, but like I want to find someone to share my life with that is probably equally as broken as I am, because I wouldn't want someone who is in a better state of mind 24/7, never worries about a thing, never stresses out about a thing, and I'm over here broken. I have my mood swings. I have my days where I'm just feeling down, and I don't want them to be like, well, just don't worry about it. Just forget about it for a sec. Like, let's just go out and have fun. Like, I want those, like, let's sit down, let's talk, let's really just vent, let's, like, understand each other a little bit and share our secrets with each other. Um, and that is what I want, honestly. Like, I always think about, like, what is it that I want in a partner? And I think I just genuinely want someone who has never felt loved before and is broken and knows the struggle to like feel attractive, because that's how I feel. And if I show this man or this woman, genuinely how much I care about them, if I genuinely show them love, show them that I'm literally here for you, I think personally that would make us such a big power couple, because I would want them to do the same for me, like I would want someone who's going to be romantic with me, someone who's going to show me what it feels like to be loved, what it feels like to know that someone looks at me like I'm the most beautiful thing in the world, no matter how different I am. Like, that's what I want in someone, and that is what these books do for me. That is what monster romance does for me, is it opens my eyes to a certain kind of person who are out there, and I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge, um again, not that I'm saying I'm talking about actual monsters, like, like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like there's people out there like me who don't know what it feels like to be liked, be loved in that type of way, who has never experienced any type of romance before, who feels broken, who feels lonely sometimes, feels like nobody wants to be in a relationship with me. There's people out there, okay? I'm here, you know? I'm one of those people, okay? I never talk about this, but I am one of those people. And I think I would love to meet one of those people. I would love to meet someone who's like that, who's equally as broken as I am, you know? And I would want to show them love because I know what it's like to never feel a slight hint of romance in your life, you know? But yeah, I got pretty personal, I will say. I've never done this before where I've just gotten this personal. This is probably like the most like deepest and most serious, like important episode I've done on this show so far. But you know, yeah, I think, you know, I really think that if you have never read monster romance before, I know it's maybe not your thing, but like if you guys genuinely wanted to, like, you guys can definitely check it out. I recommend you guys do, just because to me it's such a beautiful thing. Like, I really, really like it, and I would want someone to feel what I feel when I'm reading these books, you know. But you know, I just think monsters are hot, honestly. Like, I just think they're so beautiful, you know. Obviously there's something off about, you know, a 14-inch dick that is bright red and maybe has spikes. But the way the books describe it, it's kind of hot. So like maybe it's something to consider. But anyways, oh my god. Anyways, I am at the 40-minute mark already, so that sounds like it is about time to close off this episode, you guys. Just want to say thank you so much for everyone who listened. Like I said, this was probably the most like deepest I've ever gone into with this show. But you know, that's the point of this show. I want to feel open enough to talk. I want to feel open about, you know, things that I never talk about, you know, because I feel like mentally it might help me. So maybe this will really help me. I'm gonna go pick up another monster book because this one is done, so she's going back on the shelf. And yeah, if you guys would like to follow me on, actually, okay, I forgot to mention this, but I am no longer on social media at the moment, so I don't even know how I'm gonna promote this. I don't know how I'm gonna promote this episode. Normally I would say if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is still out there. I deleted everything on there in the meantime because I just really wanted to log off of the internet. I'm still gonna do my podcast. I'm still gonna do YouTube, so you guys can still like keep up with me here. I'm still vlogging, so you know, look for a vlog soon. And yeah, I'm just not on Instagram. I'm not posting TikToks. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on any of that anymore, because I really wanted to take a break, really focus on my reading, focus on the real world a little bit more, and kind of just figure myself out a little bit more, you know? And yeah, that is pretty much the end of this. If you guys do want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, though, it is youtube.com/Riley'sPinkRose. One last announcement that I will say, your girl is officially on hormones, okay? I am on hormones now. It has been, how long has it been? It has already been over a week, okay? As of Friday, it has already been over a week. So yeah, your girl is on hormones, okay? So let's see what the journey is gonna be like, okay? But anyways, that is the end of this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you leave it a like. Make sure to comment what you guys thought. If you guys have any recommendations for me for like reading and stuff like that, you guys can definitely tell me about it. I know there's some things I wanted to talk about in here as well, but I'll just save that for the next episode. You know, sirve de que I have something to talk about next time. So, you know, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.